Look at him. He's so cute. So shiny. Well, hello, my amazing, wonderful, fabulous, super cool friends. Thank you for joining me on my channel today. Today, I am giving you the scoop. I am giving you the details of my most commonly asked question as someone who keeps these exotic inverts as pets. And that question is, where can you get them? You've watched some videos, you've decided that you want to go ahead and get into the world of keeping exotic inverts, whether that be bugs, spiders, tarantulas, you name it. Well, where do you get it? That's a great question. And I'm going to tell you the different places you can get them from and the pros and cons of those different avenues. So I'm going to put this guy away, say bye, and let's get right into it. Okay, so let's get down to business. So the first is going to be a big chain pet store. I think I can say their names. I don't think they're gonna come for me or anything. I'm nobody, but like Petco or PetSmart. Now, the pros would be one, that they're accessible. You probably have one of these stores somewhere near you, or you could get to it. Of location. Another pro would be that they do have some supplies and feeders, so you can get care ingredients, supplies for the animal. Now to the cons. The first con I can think of would be the availability of the variety of animals. So they don't really normally have a lot of choices. Normally you're going to be able to find some different species of tarantula. Typically I've seen a lot of avicularia, which is the pink-toed tarantula. I've seen a lot of Asian forest scorpions, and not that these are bad options, these are great options. I love these options. However, you're not gonna have a ton of choices. The second con is the care of the animals. So they generally kind of don't care for them properly. I've seen a couple locations where they've done okay, but kind of a common theme is just not really proper care for the animals. I see like arboreal tarantulas and little tiny terrestrial critter keepers and scorpions without any hides and like moldy sponges in their bowls. So, I mean, you can get them there. That's an option. So the second option is going to be a local reptile store. So a lot of people think that reptile stores just have reptiles, and this is simply not the case. Reptile stores have typically all kinds of really cool and interesting spiders and bugs. I've seen tarantulas, true spiders, jumping spiders, millipedes, centipedes, isopods, beetles, roaches. So some pros because of that is variety. You'll often have a lot of good choices, a lot of interesting things that you can look at and think about keeping as a pet. And sometimes they'll be able to get their hands on something for you if you don't already have it, if they don't already have it. The other pro is the availability of supplies. So they're gonna have even better supplies than a big chain pet store. They're gonna have a lot of enclosures, substrate, hides, and feeders for your animals. So you're gonna be able to have a one-stop shop, get everything that you need there. Cons? Are there any cons? I mean, you're supporting local too. That's good. I feel like there's not really any cons there. Next is gonna be a expo. So there are reptile expos and some bug and exotic invert expos, but mainly reptile expos. And so what these are basically like big conventions where a bunch of vendors show up and lay out tables of all those animals that they have, and you can come and take a look and buy what you would like. So the pros, of course, are that you are getting access to a ton of vendors that you wouldn't normally be able to walk up and look at their stock and ask them questions and purchase from them. Another pro is that it's right in front of you. You get to take it home with you that day. It doesn't have to be shipped in the mail. There is also some supplies that you can purchase at a reptile expo. Probably get enclosures and feeders and things like that at most reptile expos. Potential cons of shopping at a reptile expo could be huge variations in pricing. So I have seen huge price discrepancies at reptile expos. So I highly suggest take a look at what you may be interested in getting and kind of have an idea of a ballpark of like a price that would be appropriate for that animal. Or if you see something at an expo that you really love, you really want, take a sec to pull out your smartphone, do a little Google, and see what that animal is going for, because I've seen some great deals. I've seen some really bad deals. Potential con of shopping at expos is that there is a lot of wild caught bugs and spiders at expos. So If that is something that is important to you, always ask your vendor if the animal is wild caught or captive bred, so that you can have that knowledge and that you can know how to decide if that works and aligns with you. Their potential con is that they can be really overwhelming. So there's going to be so many tables, so many people, so many animals, and there are some reptiles and things at expos that are kept kind of sad in like little cups and stuff, so sometimes that like gives me anxiety and stresses me out. The last way I'm going to mention that you can get your bugs and spiders and fun exotic creepy crawlies is online sellers. So some pros of shopping at online sellers are that you have access to a ton of things. Everything you could ever need is at your fingertips. You can literally access all types of animals. Another pro is that you can find really awesome, wonderful, fantastic vendors who are so passionate about what they do, and they're going to make sure that you know how to take care of your animal, you know what you need, you are taken care of, and you have a good, healthy, live animal that aligns with whether you want it to be wild caught, whether you want it to be captive bred. You can find exactly what you want. Pricing will be more competitive because there are a ton of online sellers, so you can get a good price. For the most part, you can shop around. You don't have to decide right on the spot. You can take your time to really consider what you want, make sure that it's a good fit for you, make sure that you're going to be able to provide it with the care that it needs. So those are solid pros. Cons. The first big con is that the animal's going to have to be shipped to you. A lot of people don't even know that animals can be shipped, and they can. And a lot of times they can be shipped without causing them any stress or harm. But you do want to make sure that your seller that you're buying from is reputable and that they are going to be shipping your animal in a safe way. If you're buying venomous things online, they should be shipping it probably with FedEx, and it should probably be expensive because they're probably going to have to overnight it to you. So shipping, can be stressful for the animal, and it can be really expensive to ship too. If shipping is suspiciously cheap, be suspicious. It should be expensive because the animal should be coming to you quickly to assure it has low time in transit. It should be packed very well. If it's hot, it should have an ice pack. If it's cold, it should have a heat pack. So there are things and precautions that need to be taken with shipping. So you want to make sure that your seller offers a live arrival guarantee if that's something that's really important to you, which it's important. You're spending your money on this animal and you probably care about this animal and you don't want it to be harmed. So check if they offer a live arrival guarantee. Another con is potentially buying from a sketchy seller or a con artist. I see scammers. I've been scammed even. So if something seems too good to be true online, it very well could be too good to be true. So do your due diligence when you're buying from an online vendor and check and see if they have reviews. Check and see if someone has had a successful or unsuccessful time buying from these sellers. This day and age, with content creators and stuff like that, I feel like it's pretty well documented who is and is not a reliable seller. One online place where you can generally find animals from reliable sellers is a online marketplace called Morph Market. It's kind of more geared towards reptiles, but they do have tarantulas, true spiders, scorpions, beetles, roaches, millipedes, all kinds of inverts. There's definitely less than reptiles, but there are some there, and it has like a rating system where people can leave feedback and reviews right there, and show if they've had a good experience with that seller. And I think they also might offer some type of like peace of mind money back situation if it doesn't go well. But I've never had a bad time on Morph Market. In fact, I've met one of my all-time favorite sellers, Phil Dresty. I met him on Morph Market and he's been amazing and awesome. So there's some great sellers on Morph Market where you can check and see kind of what they have available. And you might have to check a few times as people post and list new things, so it's not always going to be a great variety, but there is definitely a good amount of things there. Now there are also some other incredible online sellers who I have had such great experiences with. Juice's arthropods, literally like the nicest guy ever, and he will make sure that you know how to take care of your animal, and he'll make sure that you get a good, healthy, happy animal. So Bugs in Cyberspace, which has never done me wrong, and I have done so many orders. Micro Wilderness has always been super awesome for tarantulas. There's more, and if I think of them, I will put in my description of this video some different sellers that I've had a good experience with. Well, I really hope that this was helpful. I hope that you got your question answered. Always make sure you do your research. Make sure you're ready for a new pet before you bring home a new pet. I hope that you have a great experience getting your animals and that you love them and that you have an awesome time. If you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments because I would love to answer them for you, and I really just appreciate you watching my video. It means so much to me. Hope you have an awesome day, and I think that is all. I think I talked enough. Yeah, I did.